Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving deep into a classic that, well, even though it's centuries old, it still speaks volumes about human nature, doesn't it? And that relentless, sometimes tricky, pursuit of happiness.
It really does.
We're looking at the early chapters of Madame Bovary. We've got some fascinating excerpts here. And our mission, like always, is to pull out those key insights, those aha moments, without getting totally lost in all the detail.
Absolutely. And Flaubert, I mean, he just peels back the layers, doesn't he? Expectation versus reality, how our own deep desires can just smash against the walls of our circumstances.
Yeah.
What's really compelling, I think, is how he sets the stage for this tragedy right from the start. I mean, the origins of the characters are so unglamorous.
Exactly. That idea of a path being set early on, you'll see how things like early life, parents, even just trying to climb the social ladder a bit, can set a course that feels, well, almost impossible to change later. So get ready. Story of passion, sure, but also disappointment and that quiet, kind of desperate feeling of a life not quite lived. All straight from the text.
Right. So we start with Charles Bovary's father, Monsieur Charles Denis Bartholomew Bovary.
Quite the name.
Yeah. And picture this guy, good looking, apparently, big mustache, wears rings. But Flaubert gives him this brilliant description, an uncomfortable mixture of a military man and a cheap shopkeeper.
That captures it perfectly.
He marries for money, sponges off his wife, fails at basically everything he tries, textiles, farming. Ends up this bitter, withdrawn guy at 45.
You have to ask, right, how does growing up with someone like that, someone who just avoids work, avoids responsibility, how does that shape a kid? I mean, his father's whole philosophy was that a boy should be, undressed in the cold, learn to drink alcohol, and laughed at the village priest.
That sets a certain tone, doesn't it?
A really bleak tone. And then the contrast with his mother is so stark. She's described as cheerful, kind, hardworking. She manages everything, including her husband's, like total indifference.
Right.
And she absolutely dotes on Charles.
Yeah, cutting out pictures, making up stories for him.
Dreaming he'll be this big, important man in government, famous and clever.
So you see the tension right away, don't you? Mom pushing for education, social climbing. Dad basically saying, nah, let him run wild.
It's that classic push-pull. And Charles ends up, well, Flaubert calls him the gentle little thing. Doesn't make much progress.
Goes off to college, has an unhappy time, never does very well, but crucially never fails altogether.
Just average. Consistently mediocre.
Heartbreakingly so, yeah.
And his first marriage. It follows that exact pattern.
Oh, definitely. His mother sets it up.
Yeah, with a 45-year-old widow, he's, what, 20?
25 years older, described as ugly and bad-tempered.
That she has a good income.
That's the key, isn't it? For his mother, anyway.
And Charles, poor guy, he thinks this is his ticket to freedom and money.
But it's the total opposite. She controls everything.
Opening his mail, watching him constantly, even listening in on his patient consultations.
It's suffocating. And what's really interesting is how he just endures it until she dies suddenly.
Right, after this financial scandal comes out.
Yeah.
Turns out she lied about her money.
So he's sad for a bit, sure, but here's the irony. His practice actually improves because of it.
People feel sorry for him. Poor young man, what bad luck.
Exactly. And that sympathy does more for his career than his own skill ever did. It's this pattern of him sort of benefiting passively from things.
So, okay, Charles is now a widower, a bit more successful maybe.
Yeah.
And free, which is new for him.
Surprisingly free, yeah.
Then he gets this call. A farmer needs help out at Liberto.
And this is it. This is where he meets Mademoiselle Emma Rouault.
Emma. And the description is so vivid. She's too tall, apparently not the soft figure Charles liked, but her eyes.
Ah, yes. The eyes. Dark, almost black, looking at you, honestly and fearlessly.
There's an immediate contrast there, isn't there, between her and her surroundings.
Absolutely. Flaubert paints her as someone who dislikes the country, feels burdened by the farm. You get this immediate sense she's longing for something else.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, is Charles drawn to her or to what she represents? An escape, a prettier future than his past.
Good question. Because he starts visiting the farm. A lot.
Way too much for a simple broken leg.
Not just twice a week, Flaubert says, but for 46 days.
46 days? It's absurd.
And his first wife, before she died, she saw right through it, accused him flat out, "You like young, pretty ladies."
And he couldn't even answer her.
That says it all, really. Emma's already this disruptive force, but he's drawn to her.
And when his wife makes him promise to stop visiting, what happens? He just loves Emma more, starts dreaming about her.
Contrasting her with his wife, who he now sees as unattractive, just skin and bone.
It tells you so much about how shallow his idea of love really is, which unfortunately becomes a huge, devastating theme later on.
So his first wife dies. It's about a week after this big argument with Charles's parents about her money lies. Swift, dramatic.
And Charles, again, there's sorrow, sure, but also maybe a little relief. And maybe even a bit of professional gain from the sympathy again.
So, after she dies, Charles is free. Actually seems strangely happy for a bit, enjoying small things.
Little treats, yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't last long.
His attention turns straight back to Emma. But the courtship, oh man, it's awkward.
Hilariously awkward. He just can't spit it out, can he?
Nope. In the end, it's Emma's dad, Monsieur Rouault, who basically has to make it happen.
And Rouault's quite keen to marry her off.
Admits she's very little use in the house and has too much intelligence for the farming life. Ouch.
So you see the deal being made, right? Charles gets a pretty wife. Perrault gets rid of a daughter he finds difficult, maybe helps with his own debts.
It's a transaction.
Absolutely. Nobody's really thinking about what the other person actually needs or wants deep down.
The wedding itself sounds like a huge, rowdy affair. 16 hours of eating and drinking.
But Charles's mother is there, just sitting with a sour look on her face.
She knows. She sees trouble coming.
She does.
But those first days of marriage, Charles is just completely over the moon.
Utterly blissful. Calling her his wife, his dear, always touching her, wanting her near him.
He feels like he's finally tasted such happiness for the very first time.
And then the contrast with Emma is just brutal.
Immediate disillusionment.
Profound. While he's floating on air, she's already thinking, wait, what do these words joy, love, desire actually mean?
She feels like she must have messed up, misunderstood everything.
This is it. This is the core of Bovarism, as critics call it. That gap between the romantic dream in her head, fueled by all those novels.
Right, the ones with gentlemen as brave as lions and ladies in danger.
And the completely mundane reality of life with Charles.
A reality she finds incredibly boring. She thinks Charles is dull, no ambition.
And even his physical habits start to grate on her.
Oh yeah, the teeth sucking, the noisy soup eating, his face getting fat. Flaubert is merciless.
He really is. She even hates her new name, Bovary. Wishes it could be famous somehow.
She's just waiting for something to happen.
Listening for sounds, watching for signs. But Flaubert just says chillingly, nothing happened.
God, that's bleak. Her only confidant is her dog, Jolly.
Asking the dog, my God, why did I marry him? Flaubert uses that inner voice, that free, indirect discourse, so effectively. We're right there inside her head, feeling her despair.
Okay, but then, a potential break in the monotony.
Ah, yes, the invitation.
La Vaubyessard, the Marquis d'Antevilliers' chateau.
Because Charles managed to cure the Marquis's mouth infection? A bit random.
But the Marquis sees Emma, notices her pretty figure and good manners, and thinks, okay, let's invite them.
And this isn't just a party, is it? For Emma, it's like stepping into one of her novels.
Totally. Iced champagne, dancing, with the Viscount no less. Silk, jewels, elegant conversation.
She's thrilled. Flaubert says her past life disappeared so completely in the magic of the moment.
But that's the danger, right? This taste of luxury, of romance, it doesn't fix things.
No, it makes the return to toasts to her normal life feel even more empty. It just widens that gap between her dreams and reality.
Definitely. She comes back and fires her maid for basically no reason.
Charles is perfectly happy to be home, back to his routine.
But Emma isn't. Not at all. She keeps the Viscount's silk cigar case hidden away.
Like a holy relic.
Her life has changed, Flaubert says, but left it feeling empty.
That emptiness starts to manifest physically, too.
Yeah, her nerves, dizziness, coughing fits. She loses weight.
And Charles, in his usual practical but ultimately clueless way.
He thinks it's the town. Toast itself is making her sick.
So his solution, let's move.
It just shows how little he understands what's really going on inside her, doesn't it? Trying to fix this deep emotional problem with a change of scenery.
Exactly. And right before they move, there's that symbolic moment where she burns her wedding bouquet.
Which is all faded and dusty now. Such a clear sign she wants to erase that part of her life. Maybe the whole marriage.
And what's fascinating, too, is that she's pregnant at this point.
Right. And she's desperately hoping for a boy.
Believing a man would be free, while a woman is always limited, she's projecting her own frustrations onto the baby's gender.
It's a girl.
And Emma's reaction is instant. Turns her head away, faints.
So tragic. She just loses all interest in the baby almost immediately, sends her off to a wet nurse.
It really underscores how her own desires completely overshadow everything else, even maternal feeling.
So they move to Yonville-l'Abbaye, which sounds, well, pretty dull.
Another dull market town. And here we meet some key new characters.
First up, Monsieur Homais, the pharmacist.
Homais, Mr. Pompous Provincial Enlightenment.
Totally self-important, and his kindness to the Bovarys, it's all strategy, isn't it?
Completely. He's practicing medicine without a license, basically, so cozying up to the new doctor is just good sense for him. He represents everything Emma hates about small-town life.
And then there's Leon Dupuis.
The lawyer's clerk. And crucially, he's bored too. Just as bored as Emma.
You see that connection spark almost instantly over dinner.
While Charles is off talking shop with Homais.
Emma and Leon find each other. And what do they talk about?
All their shared romantic tastes. Sunsets they love, the sea, mountains they've only read about, music they wish they could play. Books, always books.
That shared ground, that mutual feeling of being stuck, of wanting more.
It ignites something, doesn't it? Not the big thunderstorm love Emma reads about, maybe, but the slower, quieter current of connection.
A shared yearning for escape, really. Wandering in strange places through stories.
But Leon's hesitant, too. He's young, maybe a bit timid, caught between wanting her and being afraid, maybe lacking courage.
And Charles.
Completely oblivious. It actually makes it easier for them to spend time together. He just doesn't see it.
Okay, so Leon eventually leaves Yonville, goes off to Paris to study law.
And Emma plunges back into despair, even worse than before, maybe.
Feeling utterly trapped again, lost in that void. Her physical symptoms return.
And she starts indulging again, doesn't she? Those little luxuries.
Yeah, lemons to clean her nails, expensive dresses she can't really afford.
It's that pattern again. External comforts for internal pain, trying to create this facade of elegance while inside she's falling apart.
She tries to play the housewife for a bit, but Flaubert says it's just hiding a heart that was breaking.
And her resentment towards Charles just grows and grows. She hates him for not understanding.
Even wishes he'd hit her, just so she'd have a clear reason to hate him.
It's such a twisted thought, but it shows the depth of her frustration and that destructive resentment bubbling up.
And just when she's at this low point, enter man number 2.
Ah, yes. Rodolphe Boulanger.
A completely different kettle of fish from Leon.
Oh, totally. Wealthy landowner, 34, hard-hearted but clever, Flaubert calls him, and very experienced with women.
He clocks Emma immediately, doesn't he? Thinks she's very pretty indeed.
And sizes up Charles just as quickly. Looks a dull dog.
He instantly reads the situation.
Yeah.
Believes she's dying for love.
And cynically thinks, a word or two about hearts and flowers and she'd be at your feet.
He's a predator. Plain and simple.
A very calculated one. And that scene where they meet properly during the bloodletting.
Right. Charles is being completely useless, fumbling around.
And Emma is calm, competent, assisting him. Rodolphe sees that contrast. He notices the details, like her neat foot.
See, she has this refinement that doesn't belong there. Thinks she could be a Parisian.
He sees the potential, the dissatisfaction.
And their connection really clicks at the agricultural show, which is like the least romantic setting imaginable.
Exactly. All mud and cows and boring speeches. But Rodolphe turns it into his stage.
Brushes past Homais, flatters Emma, gets her away from the crowd.
And starts feeding her exactly the lines she wants to hear. Talk about hidden selves, the emptiness of rural life, how duty doesn't matter as much as passion.
He's basically reciting dialogue from her romance novels back to her.
Precisely. He tells her she's the jewel he's been searching for. Takes her hand.
Declares he's never loved anyone before her. I mean, come on.
But Emma just laps it up. She feels her body full of desire. She doesn't need to resist anymore.
This is it. This is the thunderstorm she was waiting for.
But it's a storm entirely manufactured by Rodolphe.
So the affair begins. But Rodolphe is playing a game, isn't he?
Always. He deliberately doesn't come back too soon after their first time. Lets her anticipation build. Knows how to manipulate.
Their meetings are secret, in the garden, sometimes even in Charles's surgery.
And Rodolphe finds Charles's whole life, his things, just amusing. Makes jokes that start to annoy Emma.
That starts to show his real colors, doesn't it? And hints that this isn't going to last.
His initial passion, or pretended passion, fades pretty quickly. He finds her emotional intensity, her delicate emotions and sensitivities, actually quite boring after a while.
She wants grand gestures, commitment, maybe a proper wedding ring as a secret symbol.
But he stops saying the sweet, tender things. The romance wears off for him.
And Emmy feels it. She feels her great love is growing shallower, like seeing the mud beneath it.
But Rodolphe knows exactly how to keep her hooked. Just keep away, miss their meeting for 3 or 4 nights, and she'll come running back.
It's during this affair that the money problems really start to spiral, right?
Yes, this is where it gets dangerous. She starts buying him expensive gifts, things she absolutely cannot afford.
Riding whips, embroidered scarves.
And to pay for it, she turns to Monsieur Leroux, the draper.
Ah, Leroux, another predator in his own way.
Absolutely, a financial one. He sees her vulnerability, her desire for luxury, and he exploits it.
Gives her credit easily at first. Never asks for his money, Flaubert says. Makes it very easy for her.
Setting the trap.
So the debts start piling up. Leroux sends a bill. 270 francs.
Which Emma has no way of paying.
So what does she do? She takes money Charles received for his work, shoves it in a drawer, locks it, basically stealing from her husband.
Yeah, she pays Leroux 400 francs with that. Feels safe for the moment, but the pattern is set.
Secrecies, debt, recklessness, all fueled by this affair.
And Flaubert really makes you question her agency here. Yes, she makes terrible choices, driven by impulse and naivety.
But she's also trapped, isn't she? By her own romantic fantasies and by these men, Rodolphe, Giroux, who are actively manipulating her.
Definitely. She starts dreaming of running away with Rodolphe, even imagines taking Bertha with them.
But Rodolphe just keeps putting it off. Endless excuses.
Cynical excuses. He has no intention of leaving with her.
So the night before, they're supposedly going to elope. Emma is sad. Yeah, but she's ready. Still believes in the fantasy.
Rodolphe, not so much. He thinks, sure, she's a fine little woman, but he's relieved he doesn't have to bury himself alive like that.
Or have to look after the child, too.
His farewell letter is just brutal, cold, dismissive, hidden at the bottom of a basket of apricots.
Tells her he'll be far away by the time she reads it. The end.
And her reaction is just complete collapse.
Suicidal. Fainting spells. Utter devastation.
Charles again is distraught, drops everything, neglects his patients for, 43 days?
43 days just nursing her.
Her recovery is long, painful. She keeps having these flashbacks, seeing Rodolphe in the garden, then collapsing back into Charles's arms, seeing nothing.
And while all this emotional turmoil is happening, the financial vice is tightening.
Leroux swoops right in, takes advantage of Charles's distraction and desperation.
Gets him to sign promissory notes, borrow more money.
Entangling them both even deeper in debt. He's relentless.
Emma does eventually pull through. She even has this brief, intense religious phase for a while.
Trying to find solace somewhere else, but it doesn't stick. That old restlessness comes back.
And Charles, bless him, still thinking he can fix her with external things, suggests a trip to Rouen.
Despite the debts, he thinks going to the opera will cheer her up.
The opera Lucia de Lammermoor. A tragedy, of course.
Highly symbolic, isn't it?
Correct.
Emma watches it, identifies completely with the tragic heroine, feels she should have fought harder for her own desires, like Lucia.
And then in Rouen, who does she bump into?
Léon, back from Paris.
The timing. And that old spark.
It reignites almost instantly, that force of attraction.
Leon seems different now, though. More confident.
Yeah, Paris seems to have polished him up a bit. He doesn't waste time this time around.
Confesses he loved her before, wrote letters he never sent.
Emma is clearly thrilled, radiant even. But she tries to resist at first, tries to be sensible, says she's too old.
But Leon persists. Gently, but effectively. He knows what she wants to hear.
And her resolve crumbles pretty fast.
So, another turning point. She agrees to meet him the next day. At the cathedral.
Then immediately regrets her refusal letter, tears it up. She's completely torn.
And that leads to the infamous carriage ride through Rouen.
Ah, yes. It's so telling. They get in the carriage, but they have nowhere specific to go, so the driver just drives around aimlessly for hours.
Blinds drawn. This private, dark space.
It perfectly symbolizes the affair itself, doesn't it? Clandestine, directionless, just seeking escape within those confines.
Back in Yonville, life interferes again. Charles's father dies.
Which brings a small inheritance. But guess who's right there?
Leroux, of course. He convinces Emma she should manage the family finances now. Big mistake.
Huge mistake. She now has easier access to money and an excuse to go to Rouen regularly.
The music lessons.
Right. So the affair with Leon escalates. They spend 3 wonderful days hidden away in a hotel.
Flowers, iced drinks, trying to recreate that feeling of luxury and escape.
And then there's that little chilling moment with the boatman.
Oh, yeah? He casually mentions taking another gentleman out on the river recently, a Monsieur Rodolphe.
who apparently had plenty of lady friends.
Ugh, the irony. Just rubbing it in, reminding us this is all repeating.
She's just caught in this cycle of deception and inevitable disappointment.
And the debts just keep mounting. It's getting really serious now.
Leroux sees her with Leon in Rouen. He knows he has leverage.
Starts selling off her promissory notes to other moneylenders. The pressure intensifies.
Legal documents start arriving at the house.
Emma is completely overwhelmed. Humiliated, desperate. The walls are closing in.
And Leon, he's starting to pull away too, isn't he?
Yeah. He got his promotion. He's focused on his career now. Finds Emma's drama, her demands.
Boring. That's the word Flaubert uses. He's moving on.
So Emma, perhaps sensing this, decides she wants to end it. The music lessons stop.
She's completely alone now, isolated with this massive, crushing debt.
Then the final blow. The bailiffs arrive.
The final demand, 8,000 francs, payable in 24 hours.
Or everything will be seized. All their furniture, everything.
Her pleas to Leroux are useless. He's completely pitiless, even mocks her.
She runs around frantically. Tries bankers, they refuse. Tries Leon.
He makes excuses. Doesn't have it.
Even tries the lawyer, Guillaume, who tries to assault her.
It's just one closed door after another, utterly degrading.
So in absolute final desperation, she goes to Rodolphe.
Her last hope. Begs him for the money.
And he refuses. Says he doesn't have it, which might even be true, but it doesn't matter.
It's the final rejection, the last door slammed in her face.
And something just snaps, doesn't it? All her memories, hopes, disappointments. Flaubert says they fill her head and burst in a single flash.
She feels like she's going mad. Her whole constructed world has finally irrevocably collapsed.
So she walks, almost mechanically, to Homais' pharmacy.
Finds the key to the lab, room 6, unguarded.
Takes down a blue jar, marked danger, full of white powder, arsenic.
And she just eats it. Quickly, desperately.
Then walks out, telling Homais' assistant, Justin, not to worry his master about the unlocked room. It's so cold, so deliberate in that final moment.
A swift, terrible end to the desperation.
And her death itself. Flaubert doesn't spare us the details. It's agonizing.
Horrible. The bitter taste, the vomiting, the cold spreading. Drawn out and painful.
Charles is there, though, right by her side, tending to her,
Yeah.
desperate, loving her till the very end.
Still completely devoted, despite everything.
And in her last lucid moments, she whispers to him, "It had to be, my dear." A kind of confession, maybe?
Perhaps. Or maybe just resignation. And then she kisses the crucifix.
With more love than she had ever given any person during her life, then she's gone.
Charles's grief is just immense. Raw, almost like a child's.
He insists she be buried in her wedding dress. White shoes, flowers, covered in green silk.
Gets furious when Homais, ever the pragmatist, questions the expense.
He tries so hard to hold on to her memory. Keeps her room exactly as it was.
But even he can't stop reality intruding. His memory of her face starts to fade. His life just crumbles around him.
And the money problems don't die with Emma, do they?
Oh, no. Leroux and the other creditors are vultures. They keep coming after Charles.
He has to sell everything piece by piece. Silver, furniture, just clinging to the remnants.
His whole world just shrinks down to that untouched bedroom and trips to her grave with little birth.
And then, the final devastating discovery.
Finding the letters. Leon's letters. And Rodolphe's picture. Hidden away in her desk.
That's what finally breaks him, isn't it? The undeniable proof.
It completely destroys the last shred of illusion he might have clung to. He just withdraws completely after that.
There's that one last encounter with Rodolphe, though. It's so strange, so poignant.
He sees Rodolphe in the market one day, walks over, takes his hand.
And just says, "I'm not angry with you now. Fate is to blame."
Fate. That's the critical part, right? Charles still can't see the human choices, the manipulations, his own passivity. He blames this abstract thing, fate.
While Rodolphe, the guy who engineered so much of that fate,
finds Charles's reaction just weak, even ridiculous. It shows that huge gap in understanding. Charles remains tragically blind to the end.
And he doesn't last much longer himself, does he?
No. Birth finds him dead in the garden soon after, sitting on the bench holding a lock of Emma's dark hair.
Just devastating. A quiet, heartbreaking end.
And the final legacy, little Birth,
Orphaned. Shuffled between relatives who don't really want her.
ends up having to work in a cotton mill to survive.
Her life just becomes another casualty of circumstances, of the failures and choices of the adults around her. It shows how these things ripple outwards, doesn't it, across generations.
A truly bleak ending.
So, reflecting on all this, what does it mean for you, listening now? We've walked through this incredibly tragic story of Emma Bovary. This woman caught, really, between a reality she couldn't stand and a fantasy she couldn't reach.
Yeah.
We saw how that deep yearning she had for joy, love, desire, how it drove her choices, but often just tangled her deeper in lies and debt and self-deception.
And Flaubert really forces us to look at how society's expectations, combined with her own maybe romanticized readings of life, created this perfect storm. You have to ask, how much was her choice? How much was manipulation? How much was just the crushing weight of convention?
It makes you think, doesn't it? Especially today, with idealized lives constantly thrown at us online and media. What's our own responsibility for finding happiness?
Right. Is fulfillment really about chasing some grand external story? Or is it more about how we navigate our own, maybe quieter realities, with maybe a clearer eye on consequences and a better understanding of ourselves?
Definitely a lot to chew on there. It's a powerful reminder, I think, that sometimes the biggest aha moments aren't these huge revelations.
Mm.
Sometimes they're in seeing the quiet, devastating truths about how we work as humans, especially when our dreams and reality just refuse to line up.
Mm-hmm. A sobering thought.
It really is. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive.